with none other than Isaac Netters, who is the owner and the visionary behind the Litz, and we are here with Ursula Rochon, who is the owner. I love saying owner when it comes to like people I know. I love saying owner. The owner and proprietor of Rue Maison Gallery at 316 St. Joseph Street, the only black-owned gallery right here in the warehouse district, right? Yep. And she displays black art and in so many different fashions. And so we want to make sure that you come out here, come join us, stop here. We know you have extra money from Christmas. Y'all got that $100 in a Christmas card. I know you did. So come pass by. And if you are a candle lover, stop. Ursula, go get a candle. And show them how it works. Let her go get a candle. Y'all, these candles are amazing. I bought two because that's what you're supposed to do. You support. And when you come up, you make sure everybody comes up too. So that's what we're doing right here at 316 St. Joseph Street. What did you get?
Black Girl Magic.
Of course, Black Girl
Magic.
Magic.
They got a candle for this.
Smell it. Smell it.
There it is.
Let's see.
Smell it.
Well, shout out to Tia's Candles. She makes all my candles, and I told her that they had to be like.
He said it smells like magic.
It smells like magic.
Hey, but guess
that's
what?
Rue Maison.
But guess what?
This is our signature candle.
Okay.
This is the trick behind the candle.
But here's the trick.
The trick behind the candle is that it's a double candle. So you have a fragrance at the bottom, but you have a fragrance in the top as well. So you kind of get a sampler at the top. And they're 2 for $35?
Yes.
They are 2 for $35. So make sure you come down to 316 St. Joseph Street and come get your candle on, because that is the good life. And we're really excited because today is not just Relationship Tuesday. I know when Relationship Tuesday, you're used to Henry being here. You're used to Dr. Tammy Wilborn being here. But we're having a new little remix today because these are some of my OGs, and I'm really excited. You know, Ursula, my girl, she moved she moved to another state, but none other. You know, she came back to open her gallery, so we're really excited to be able to be here for the launch, and we'll be here all week. So make sure you come join us. And Isaac has been an OG. Y'all just don't know. When I started on the radio for 3 years, he was there holding me down, teaching me a lot of stuff. So I'm really excited to have both of them here as they launch their businesses and they take their stuff to the next level, because that's what the good life is all about. So it's Relationship Tuesday. I understand that, but we're going to get into a little bit about what the Litz is, because Isaac's line is called the Litz, and I know y'all don't know us, but Isaac and I are very what should I say? We're very conscious. We're very conscious, and you know, when you're around conscious people, it brings out a new level of understanding and a new level of insight. And so just bouncing conversation off of him was just really inspirational for me over the years. So I'm really excited to hear about where he came up with the idea of the Litz and how it had, you know, come to fruition. So Isaac, please tell me about the Litz.
First I want to say thank you.
Well, we giving thanks today, y'all. See, we giving thanks. We giving thanks.
I want to say thank you to you too, Ursula, because this is like this is beautiful. This is a manifestation of just a beautiful thought and vision and idea, and I am truly humbled to be a part of this. I want to tell you that I haven't told you that yet, but I want to tell you that. So I'm glad. Love Fest or whatever. Sign me up.
No, it's
Look, give me a season pass for that.
Yes.
You feel me? But I definitely want to shout y'all out, because y'all lifting up not just yourselves, but you know, you lift up your family, you lifting up ideas, you know what I'm saying? And this is a beautiful space. If you have not been here, I mean, I guess it's the opening. It's the first. It's the first of the first. It's the real first thing.
The grand opening week.
Yeah, so like this is for real, and being here and representing the city and just lifting up the city the way you doing it, y'all doing it. That's what it's about. We're going into a new phase or whatever, and we're gonna get into that. So that's cool.
Now I'm in my feels.
Yeah, that's where you better be.
Now I'm in my feels.
But shout out to y'all. But the Litz, that's what it is. It's the Litz. It is the Litz.
It is lit.
It's
crazy.
It's not lit. It's the Litz.
Oh, well, tell me why.
So it's like, it's the Litz. You can have you know how you can, it's like a condition. It's like a way of life. It's like something that'll get into you and can't get out you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's the Litz. You can have a bad case of the Litz. You know what I'm saying?
I got a good case of the Litz, though.
You can have, yeah, you can
I got
have
a good case of the Litz. I got a good case of the Litz.
You can have a good case of the Litz.
Yes.
But that's what that's all about. It's like, you got to be in tune, and you got to be on what you on, you know, and you got to be focusing on it. And that's the Litz. But like for me, where it truly came from, and where it, one day I was with my family and we was taking a family picture. You know, I love my family. And we was taking a family picture, and I was like, man, I'm gonna go to the mall, because we was taking a picture at the mall. I'm gonna go to the mall and I'm gonna buy me something at the mall for my family picture, right? So I did that. And then I realized, man, I spent a whole lot of money just on me, just before we even paid for, the pictures be expensive.
Yes.
So I was like, man, I don't ever want to do that again to represent my family, because I feel like, family pictures, that represents you. You send out for Christmas and all that other stuff.
Right.
And so I was like, that represents me.
It's a reminder, right.
So I said, I can make something, and so that's what I did. And so probably it's been more than 10, 12 years that I had that experience. And so since I had that experience, I've just been coming up with different iterations of what I would want to put on a shirt, what I would want to have to represent me. And probably about a year ago, maybe a little longer than that, I started putting the candle on the shirt, and it started, it started moving me more than everything else I had. It started moving me more than everything else I had. And people around me started to be like, they ask questions. My whole thing when it comes to art, because I deal with art in many different ways. For me, when it comes to art, when it asks questions and evoke emotion, man, shout out to Sleep. Already ENT is in the building. Shout out to Go Lay Down.
Shout out. Oh, wait, before you go, because we're in the gallery, y'all. This is live. People are shopping. We're doing all kinds of stuff.
If they gotta make a move. Look,
I understand you gotta make a move. It's a live show. We have a live show in the gallery.
Right here. This is my dog.
Yes, come say hello.
He just got something. Didn't you just get
yes.
something?
Yeah,
right?
Our Give Thanks hoodie.
Right.
Next t-shirt.
Right. But
Because we giving thanks.
This is the homie. He from way back. I would tell y'all, if I told y'all he was a doctor, a medical doctor, would y'all believe me?
Yes. Of course.
Because he is. You understand what I'm saying? This dude is like, man, I don't even want to get into
when
all
you
that.
sick, you call him.
Right. No, it's a whole other thing.
Oh, Lord.
Look, it's all good, but I'm glad you came, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, we're gonna lift it up. We're gonna spread the light down, but shout out to Sleep, Already ENT, Go Lay Down, That's another
lay
brand.
It down, lay it down.
Go Lay Down is another brand from New Orleans. They based out of Metairie, but
we'll have to interview you one day.
But
we got all kind of stuff. We got all kind of stuff.
But the Litz was literally, I live by 3 rules in life, right?
3 rules.
3 simple rules. The first rule is don't compare.
Don't compare. His first rule is don't compare.
Yeah, everybody's different. Okay,
Right.
don't compare.
Because you never know the next man's
For
struggle.
real.
Never.
Right.
True. Very true.
Right?
Or the next man's passion.
Right. That's right.
So, okay,
So
don't
just
compare.
don't compare.
Don't compare.
Right.
When you base your life off comparisons, and when you base your moves and all these other things off comparisons, you lose a part of yourself in that. And
Because you're trying to be like somebody
right.
else.
Not even that. It's just you're giving your energy.
Use a part of yourself. You're
right.
giving them your power.
Right. But you should give people. We're gonna get to that. But
Yeah, we
that's
gonna
it.
get to
Okay,
that.
so that's number 1. Don't compare.
Don't compare. The second one is don't complain, because nobody really wants to hear it.
Right. Instead, give thanks.
Right. You could give thanks instead of that. You could just give thanks. And literally, the third rule, which is the most important rule, no matter whatever the situation is, give thanks. So
You got the gun.
right? But
I got
that's
excited.
how
I
it
was
works.
lit.
Right. It was just the list.
I was
She got
feeling the lit.
and so when I came to that, I was like, man, if I can't put all the rules on there, but I could give people the most important rule, and that's where the give thanks shirt came from, the design, I should say, and I just been working on it. I make them all myself, and by hand, and it's like it's
With
for me.
love.
Yeah, it's something I have to do. I'm a creator. I create things, and so it's a real good way between the things that I have to do to just create something real quick on every day. So every day I'm making a shirt. If they got an order, if they don't got an order, I'm making a shirt.
Right.
And but it's a good way.
Giving thanks because the order's going to be made and you're preparing yourself for
right.
it.
I'm prepared, and that's what look. Shout out to Ursula, because you got to be prepared. Don't be scared. Be prepared. Put your line up, and move things forward. Lift people up. You're gonna spread the light, and that's truly
Where
where
it
it's
came
at.
from.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a conversation and break each one of those down in a minute. But I want to know about like being an entrepreneur and like taking that jump to it's one thing to actually make your stuff and to keep it at home and to wear it yourself. It's another thing to put yourself and your brand out there. To start for having the people wear it and post pictures and things like that.
Right.
That's another thing. That jump. What was that jump like for you?
for me, it's we still jumping. We jumping right now. So like
This is the launch. We are jumping right now.
I'll tell you when I find my feet, but I can tell you one thing, knowing that you have some really cool people that you have serious relationships with that are gonna vibe with you because you no matter what, and they know that what you're doing or like, you know, what you're representing, what you're trying to say is like a real true truth, and it's something good, and you're really trying to lift people up, and that's all you've ever done with them. They haven't seen anything, they don't know anything else, because that's your truth, that's what you live in, you know, like that's the true blessing out of the whole thing. So like when we find our feet, we all want, we gonna be on our feet,
Right. Together.
But it's the people, it's families, you know, like I said, the relationships. It's not just family, it's people, you know. But being able to connect with people and have those relationships are the coolest part about what's going on right now. And getting people conscious to this, you know, they have choices, you know, like you can
Open their mind.
Yeah, you open their minds. You could choose to wear whatever you want. You know, you could choose to have whatever you have on represent you. You know, but
I love this because it reminds you, even in those moments in life where you may have a bad day, or you know, somebody may have cut you off, or you know, something happened that just wasn't, you know, the most inspiring. You just look down and it's like, give thanks. You know, it's just one of those things that reminds you that you have more than the next person. The fact that you can open your eyes and see.
Right.
There are people in the world who don't have those basic things. So I'm going to throw that same question over to Ursula Roujon, who is the owner of Rue Maison Gallery. You know, that moment when you jumped, because when I first met you, you know, you were an artist and you have always painted, but you didn't have this. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what was that moment for you when you were just like, you know, and I know we have that connection where we're spiritual, and all three of us,
right.
And you know, we talk about God and our spirituality, but that moment when you jumped, or that moment, I should say, leading up to the jump and the jump, what was that like for you?
So I didn't really jump, right? God kind of
Well, we're in something that made it look like, okay.
It was a put. It was like a shove. It was like, no, this is what you're gonna do, and you're gonna do it today. And I was like, you sure, God? Are we? You positive? Did you see how much?
Right.
This is what we doing. So it was terrifying. It's still terrifying. I'm terrified right now in this moment. But there's no room for worry and faith in the same room we had that conversation.
Right,
so
right.
I'm walking by faith. Solely by faith right now, as we speak, as I sit here.
And you are literally the only Black-owned gallery in the Warehouse District. That is such a huge accomplishment and such a huge feat to say that you're young and you're in your 30s. I mean, you know, it really is. And, you know, my props to you, and I love all my people. But, you know, just like you said, jumping when God says jump, because so many times we don't, you know, go when he says go. And you don't necessarily have to know what's on the other side of it. I explain it to so many people like it's driving at night, and just you have your headlights on, and you can only see like 50 yards in front of you, or whatever it is.
And
you just have to trust that when you get to the next spot, that your headlights are going to show you the way. So that's kind of how life is. And, you know, if you continue to do that, in my opinion, that's what the good life is, continuing to do, or a part of it. I have so many, you know, pieces of it, but in my opinion, that's what it is. So we are going to bring one more person in here before we break down the conversation of the Litz and the three components of it. He's one of my dear friends. He was with me on radio for a couple years. He is amazing. Wait, you can't get on here without the hardware, so you can play around if you want to. You gotta go pick it up. It's over there. You gotta get it. We have none other than Big Ramp in the store with us today. Scoot over, because he's about to sit down. Wait, we have to see the hardware. Yes, it's going down. We have all of us here today. Yes, so tell us what the hardware is about. Well, this
is the BRE Heavyweight Championship. I run it 3 years ago, and I've been cheating and doing everything to keep it because I'm not going to lose it.
That's what's up.
Straight up.
That's what's up.
That's all I got to say about it.
Well, where can they find you?
Oh, okay. They go check me out in the National Wrestling Alliance, the NWA, the IMLL, just wrestling in general. Just look up Big Ramp Wrestler, and all kind of stuff will show up.
And that's all kind of stuff is going to show up. So we have him here as a special guest today. I'm really excited because we're going to start breaking down what the Litz is about. And the first one was what?
First one, don't compare.
Don't compare. Because Ursula, there's going to be another artist.
Oh, absolutely.
But there's not going to be another artist like you.
Right.
Everybody has a
Isaac,
different style.
there will be another designer. There will be another person with, a t-shirt line of this. But there will not be another the Litz, I should say. And Ursula, wait, before we get into all that, Ursula, where can they, how can they follow you? We're going to go down the line first.
You know what? I'm just going to send them right to the store. So Rue Maison Nola, that's ROUXMAISONNOLA. That's on Instagram, it's on Twitter, on Facebook. But you can find us at Rue Maison Nola.
Rue Maison Nola. You can find Ursula there. Isaac, where can they find the Litz?
At Rue Maison Nola.
Yes.
If you go to Rue Maison Nola, they're gonna have the Litz in there.
We will have the Litz
Yeah,
in Rue
that's
Maison
how it's
Nola.
going down.
Absolutely.
That's how I'm gonna tell you. You go to the Litz.us, the Litz.us, or you can go, like I said, to Rue Maison Nola. That's the only other
And
place
where are we
you'll find
located?
it.
At 316 St. Joseph Street in New Orleans, Louisiana. So make sure if you're in New Orleans, you're in the surrounding areas, that you come here, and you can always order it online at thelitz.us, thelitz.us. And of course, you are listening to The Good Life Radio Show. You can find us online at tglradioshow.com. That is tglradioshow.com. And all of you are on Google Play. You can get us on your app right now, iPhone. We are coming in about a week. We gotta wait because that's just how they work. So we will be here soon, but we're really excited. So we're about to jump into the conversation of don't compare and the 1, 2, 3 of exactly what the Litz is all about. It is about 1, 2, 3. It is don't compare, don't complain, and give thanks. So let's start with don't compare. Lord have mercy. Kenneth, Big Ramp. I don't I gotta call you the name because I love your name because that's my daddy's name and that's like my child's middle name. So I have a great love for Kenneth.
This
You
is
know what
fact.
Kenneth?
This is fact.
You know what Kenneth means?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Kenneth means handsome. Yes, I'm sitting next to handsome, y'all. I'm really excited about. So we're going to jump into, don't compare. And with the theme of today being Relationship Tuesday, let's kind of get into it, from that perspective. Yes, don't compare. With regard to our relationships, comparison. And you can take it any way you want to. I love to hear different perspectives. Comparison in relationships. You want to start or you want me to let Ike start?
You can let Ice know.
We're going to let Ike start. Look. Toss it over here and knock it out the park.
When it comes, it's just, you gotta base your life on truth. And when you base your life on comparisons, it's kind of like you base your life on assumptions because you really don't know, the full story of what you're comparing. And so when you get half the story, you get to live half the life, because and everybody wants to live a full life, I suppose. I do, and so I try my best not to compare when I come to a situation or when I come to an issue or really when I'm making decisions and choices. You would think that comparisons are the basis of decisions and choices, wouldn't you? You would say, well, hey, let me look at this. Let me look at this. Whatever product it is, and you say, hey, I like this one. It has this, that, and the other, and I like that one. It has this, that, and the other. Let me compare and see which one is the best, right?
Right.
But literally, if that's your process, you're trying to make the best educated decision you can make. Right. And but it really is the perspective of how you look at what you're doing, and literally. If I was to go in every decision, and people do it unconsciously, I think, because from advertising and marketing and all this other stuff.
You're inundated with comparisons all day
Comparison
long.
is a natural thing for you. And like I'm saying, there's a way to assess the value of different things without matching them up against each other.
Wow.
You get me?
I think you just dropped it.
Because it's your value. You add value to whatever. If you let somebody add value to you or your thing, well, and unconsciously, let me add that in there, right?
Yes.
Then you're missing something. You get me?
Yeah.
And I can't do what I have to do, and it's hard. I'm not gonna say I can't, but it really becomes hard to do all the things you really have to do. If you can't get if you really can't tune in on a full way, you know what I'm saying? And so I try my best to just give it a filter, get all that stuff out the way, just get direct to whatever it is, and focus on that. And so that's where don't compare comes in. And like I said, you don't know the next man's struggle. You have no idea. You have no idea. Us three right here, you got no idea. Just with us three. And that's kind of, the dope people in the back.
She's selling stuff, y'all.
Right. So,
That's what we're here to do.
right. But and they got some dope art in here. If I was to try to sit here and say, well, this painting versus that painting, that's silly. That's really
It's
silly.
two different things. Like,
Right,
it's
yeah.
3, 5, 10 different things. Right.
So I try not. If I'm gonna be silly, it's gonna be for a good reason. You get me?
Oh, clearly.
Right. Yeah. So.
Well, we're all individuals. We're the only one with these fingerprints. We're the only one with this tone of voice. We're the only one with all of these things. If you wanted to, God made you for a reason. We are here for a purpose in our passion. Whether you have found it not or you haven't found it yet. We are not here. We wouldn't be here if someone else was here.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
We wouldn't be here if our purpose was done. So, and I don't like that, we talk about this show as love, tolerance, compassion, understanding. And tolerance is such a huge one for me because we like to point fingers. And I'm like, everybody is on this journey. We're at different points. There was a time where I was cool as behind the veil and didn't know a thing. And I'm still not as far as I would. It's continuous. It's never ending. So I'm continuously learning. And to compare myself to other people
I was gonna talk
wouldn't
about
be
that.
beneficial. But the thing is, I've done it.
Right.
I've done it for so long, and by no means am I perfect, but I'm so much better than where I've been in my past, and it is freeing and liberating not to be. It feels like shackles on your feet when you compare yourself to other people.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Even
back.
siblings or family members or something. They're like, well, at this point in their life they were doing this, or at this point in their life they were this, or I feel like I haven't gotten there. I was listening to something, or somebody was like, oh, you should have a house by then, you should have a car by then, you should have so much in the bank account. Says who? And not to say that isn't a great thing for you to accomplish, but buying a house at 40 is still a great accomplishment. I think it's an accomplishment at any time in your life to be buying something, on that level that you can keep for generations to come. So if you haven't attained something at somebody else's timeline, that's their timeline. Don't put yourself on their timeline or in their journey, because that's not what you're here for. You're not here for them, and nor do you know what they have to go through to get that way. I was talking about son messing around because my parents are messing with him because he has a little girlfriend at 14. But my
You know why?
But my parents met at 16.
I'm gonna tell you why.
So they were like, you never know. I was like,
I got a theory. He has the lits. He does have the lits. He's got a bad case of the lits. So the girls and all of that.
He does.
We spread the light.
Did you see him in his sweatshirt?
I did see it, but good things are attracted to the light. Like, good things are attracted to the light.
Yes.
Just think about that. So we spread the light. So we trying to bring as many good things as we can together and just make the light real strong and shine like it's supposed to, And that gives energy, And so that's what we're trying to do. That's really what we're trying to do.
That's exactly what, and we're trying to do that today. That's what this conversation is all about, spreading the light. And so we're spreading it, breaking down the ideals of the Lits. The Lits is a brand new a clothing line that has come out today. Well, it's been out, but we did we did a little launch today. We did a little launch right here at Rue Maison Gallery. So make sure if you want to purchase a shirt and touch it and feel it, you can do that today at 316 Rue Maison 316 St. Joseph Street in New Orleans at Rue Maison Gallery. But they will be set up here all the time, so you can always come get your gear if you want to buy it online. Some people like the comfort of their home. You can do it online at thelits.us, thelits.us. So we're really excited about it. We're here. We are launching, having a pre-launch to this entire week. They're going to have fun,
You're gonna be busy this week,
pop-ups. Yes, I will be busy right here. I will be here all week broadcasting live, and I'll be really excited. And I'm going to do it between the first pop-up is, what time is the first pop-up this week?
10 to 2, and
10
then,
to 2.
and then we have like a 2 to 6.
And then
but
it's
in
2 to
between,
6. So I'll be here so I can make sure I can talk to each pop-up vendor, and we can do that. But I can, we live, so we can do it anytime we want. So make sure you get the app. Make sure you are tuned in and signed up, and you follow us so you can get all the information. But I'm going to throw it to Big Ram, because I'm sure in the world of wrestling and, being able to jumping out on something, doing this on your own, you've had comparisons of life, but people like to compare you. And I find like when people compare you, they put you in a box. And I'm like, you can't put me in a box.
Yeah.
So how has that happened for you?
Oh yeah, that happened the minute I stepped into it, because I came from radio and music and all that other stuff,
Right.
and it was like, oh, you just like so and so and so and so. I'm like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Just give me a chance, and they did, and that's where we at now with it.
That's where you're at.
Yeah, that's where we at now with it. And the ones who were saying I couldn't do it, I just laugh at them at time to time when I see them.
You'll be your footstool.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because I believe in everybody. I want to see everybody like succeed and do stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? So why wouldn't that be mutual? I don't know. Because I mean, that's just strange to me.
Talk about spreading light today. Big Ring been spreading the light with that one. I think I need you to say that one more time. What?
Like, it should be mutual. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mutual.
Like it should be mutual. Like, I'm happy for everything that you doing. I mean, I've been knowing you a long time. I've been knowing Ike a long time. I'm happy for everything y'all doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's all, when we see each other, it's all mutual. But there's other people in life, when you see them, they got the bitter face when they see it. I'm like, well, I'm trying to do, I'm following a dream. Well, they following dreams, like, you should be happy that we following this. They'll tell you everything but what you need to hear. That's ridiculous.
And I will throw it out there for 2017. I had said this on the last show, but for 2017, there's a new Eileen. I know that rhymes, it wasn't meant to, but nonetheless, there's a new Eileen because I had done a lot of that, you know, and it wasn't necessarily consciously, it was unconsciously. And, you know, I think I've been holding myself back on certain levels. And so, you know, breaking through your guilt, shame, anxiety, fear, whatever that is for you, and realizing that it's not bad to have these things, but it's acknowledging them and opening your mind to living differently in the world, which is the tagline for the show, so that you can grow and that you can become a better person and start living the good life, because there are different levels to it. You know, and everybody's good life is different. My good life is going to be different than your good life, and your good life is going to be different than mine. And that's what it's all about, and just making sure that you support each other, you know, through the process. So let's hit up the second one. What's the second one?
Don't complain.
Don't complain, Lord have mercy. This is probably one of my favorite. Well, I like them all. I really do. I don't even know which one to choose, but don't complain. Okay, where did don't complain come from?
I don't think it came from anywhere.
It came from the song I Won't Complain.
But
Wait.
I don't know who instilled
There'll
it
be
in
some
me.
good days.
Yeah, I don't know who instilled that idea in me, but
Weary days.
complaining is just something I never really did.
I won't. Why are you playing? I'm sorry, I can't sing. The Lord knows I got this I got this in my car. For real.
Right.
Look, you know, we open our eyes.
And I think people need to hear that though, because people don't. A lot of people complaining is awesome for them. You know, they watch TV shows where people complain. That's the premise of the show. You know.
Yes.
And but
A premise to a lot of shows.
right, yeah. I mean, it's a premise it's a lifestyle premise at this point. You know, and like you got to understand with complaining and how it manifests, because it's not just like saying, "Hey, I'm tired," but you know. You can complain with your actions. You can complain. You know, you can complain without saying a word. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, yes.
And people, that's energy, man. That's like, you know, you could really be doing something else with that. Like literally, there's something else you could be doing with that. And I think, you know, for sometimes it helps people get to a realization, because they have to, you know, you get stuck mulling, you mull things over, and you have to vocalize, and people have to hear it, or you have to hear it for yourself, but. And I'm trying to be real with people, because
I want you to be real with people.
People got to understand that they have, you know, people got hang-ups, and so if somebody got a hang-up, you can't hang up on them. You know, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
You got to be like, man, my people got a hang-up. So look, I'm gonna do what I can to help lift that up, because we got to lift that up. You know, sometimes. You know, the greatest win you can make is when you take a weakness and turn it into a strength. That's the greatest thing that you could possibly do. That's the wrong hand. Oh. But that's the greatest thing that we could possibly do. And so if you could lift somebody up and help them take a weakness and turn it to a strength.
Take your weaknesses and turn them into a strength.
Right, and complaining comes in where weaknesses are.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And if you haven't, you know, that's a whole other conversation, but
we're about to pop into that.
That's what I'm going to give you that. That's that right.
We're about to pop into that, because I know it and I don't always remember it, but I try to practice it as often as possible. And so I like to remind myself, so we're going to remind the listeners right now, the power is in your words. And you can give yourself life through your words. If you have nothing else, you have your mind, and you have your mind, you know, for me, your mind and your thoughts and your words. You have that. When you are down to literally nothing, you have your thoughts. The Lits started with a thought. The wrestling started with a thought. If they never had that thought, it would have never manifested into anything. Everything, the cars you drive, somebody had to think it. Somebody had to design it. The shoes you have on today, somebody created it with a thought. Your mind is so much powerful, so much more powerful than we give it credit for, because, we're using it every day for just everyday things. And we don't realize literally the power that we have within us. They've had stories of people in the hospital where, they literally can't move, they're in a coma, but they had their mind and they were able to take that power and manifest their comeback. And so it's in knowing that the power is in our thoughts and in our words. And when we can use those words, for positive or negative. There's no gray line for me. It's either good or bad, evil, bad, God, the devil, pick one. And so when you're speaking, it's either one of them. So it's hard to think about your words every day, but it's like a muscle. The more that you pay attention to it, the more that you use it, the easier that it is. And it's going to sound crazy at first because, you're like, this isn't true. But yes, it is. And I actually started with something real simple. Y'all remember when The Secret came out? When the book came out in the movie, they started talking about, having a parking spot. And that's easy for someone to think in their mind about getting a good parking spot. But guess what? I know I'm going to have a good parking spot. I don't care where I go. It could be, I went to Lakeside Mall on December 23rd, and I got a great parking lot. And for everybody who knows, that is very difficult. And it was on the first row outside of the restaurant.
Right.
How did it happen? Because I know I'm going to get a good parking spot. Everywhere I go, I got a good parking spot here. Because I know I am. But if we can, and that's just a small example, but the crazy thing is there's the way that we think of small things, it's the same thing for big things. There is no small and big, it just is. So if you know like you know, and you can make yourself believe something, you can create something. I was actually reading, I had to go to the DMV, Lord knows I was in there for 3.5 hours. But you know what? It's what you do with that time. So I read The Instant Millionaire while I was sitting there. So part of it, hey, you got to make a come up. You got to put the thoughts in your mind if you want something different. So part of the book talks, and I'm gonna have a show about that book. Right. But part of the book goes to say that the man was like, there's no power in words. So the man was like, okay, there's no power in words. I want you to go upstairs, write something down, and then meditate on it and come back. And so he went upstairs and he was doing what he was supposed to be doing. But when he went upstairs, they locked the door behind him. So he was locked in the room. So the man told him to go in the drawer and look at something. When he went and looked in the drawer, the words on the paper said, you have an hour to live. So he started freaking out. He went and, tried to get out the door. The door was locked. He went to the window. They were like double, whatever. I'm no window person. He's banging on the window. He couldn't get out. He's on the second story. He couldn't jump. So he's thinking, Lord knows I'm about to die in an hour. These people have, gave me the okie doke. They brought me here to kill me, blah, 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 blah. Right. Nonetheless, they open the door. He comes downside. He's like, what did you do? Da, 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 da. And the man said, I thought there were no power in words. Why are you tripping? You read the paper. You've been with me for a day and a half. You know my personality. Why would you think that I would kill you? But I read it. So clearly there are power in words. He read it. He digested it, and he made it an assumption for himself. So clearly there are power in our words, whether we, believe it or not. It's like the law of gravity. You're walking, right? You're not floating in the air. It exists whether you acknowledge it or not. So I just want people to open their mind to living different in the world and start paying attention to your words and your actions and your thoughts and what they're going to manifest. Because what we're living today is only a manifestation of what you did yesterday and a couple days ago and years ago of what you created today. So what do you want to create for tomorrow? Where do we want the wrestling to be in a couple years? Well, it's what we do today. And if we want that in a couple years, in a week, and it may not even have to take that. He could get a phone call in an hour that could totally change his life and turn it upside down. But it's not going to happen if you don't believe it. It's not going to happen if you don't have that expectation. It's not going to happen if you complain all day. So number 2 for the Lits was don't complain. So we want to open your mind to living different in the world to stop complaining. And it's not about pointing fingers or judgment. It's just about giving you a different perspective of how complaining can change your life to the negative and how we would like to spread the light. Yeah. All right.
You want to rant,
Right.
I'm I'm
Digesting the show.
Yep.
You haven't been around me in a while.
Yeah, I'm saying because I'm used to hearing the show. Like I've been on the show before. I'm used to hearing the show.
Yeah.
But this setup, this
You
is
like this?
awesome.
You like
this?
this?
Is awesome. And I like how you holding the belt like you did it before.
Dun,
It's
dun,
awesome.
dun, dun, dun. Mess with me.
That's what it is.
And I already said, we support each other. I'm going to go live at one of his events because that's what we do. This is what we do. We're taking it to the next level. God told me to jump like he told Ursula to jump. He said, this is your last week here. I said, what? Lord, I don't even have anything set up. He said, I told you this is going to be your last week. So I did what he told me. I got some stuff in the works, and that's just what it is. So I'm really excited. So we went through number 1, which was don't compare. We went through number 2, which was don't complain. And these are the 3 fundamentals of the Litz. And the Litz is a brand new clothing brand produced by none other than Isaac Netters. And I'm really excited about
him.
him.
The fundamentals of this is how I live.
Oh, this is fundamental. Oh,
yeah.
sorry, break it down.
It's just how I live. And, the Litz is, like I said, it's a state of mind. It's like, it's a state of being for me. It's how I live, And so, I don't know. I guess it's the fundamentals of the Litz, but
it's a fundamental, but the Litz is who you are.
Right.
That's
That's
who
what
you
I'm
are
saying.
alike.
I represent that. This is what I developed to represent me. And so, yeah.
Well, then this is a perfect segue into your number 3.
You really got magic in this candle.
I told you there are magic in the
Well, I
candle.
wanted to see it, though. I didn't get to see
Hey,
it.
look at the thing on the top. The top is a candle, too.
There are 2 candles.
Watch this.
Oh, it's lit.
Yeah, so you can come here and make sure that you get your candles. We're at 316 St. Joseph Street in New Orleans. You can smell it for the rest of the show. The top is a separate candle,
It's a
too.
separate candle.
So you kind of get like a,
It's
What is
not-
up?
a little tester.
You could take it into another room and have 2 separate candles.
You do. I know that's what I did. So I have 4 now.
Right.
So giving thanks. The breakdown, giving thanks. You're going to smell it for the rest of the show.
So give
I'm gonna
thanks.
give thanks.
Give thanks is what it is, man. I know I've been able to communicate and link up with some really cool people. And the coolest people I know and the most, I don't know, just the people that I know that I probably talk to and get down with and connect with on a pretty cool level, they all give thanks. They all are conscious that they have to give thanks. Not that they have to give thanks, but giving thanks is a part of their life, is a part of the way they live. And so, when you're dealing with people that give thanks, it's like you feel a different way. You don't.
The vibe is different.
You don't feel regular. You don't. I'm not saying regular, but what I'm saying is you feel like that when you make your decisions and when you take the steps that you take, they are in order. They are divine steps. They are steps that have been put in front of you to where if you misstep, you're making the right step.
Right.
Right. And you could do a little shuffle and be right back in the groove.
I'm sinking back in.
But that's not, it's not about that. But what it's about is knowing that the people around you are giving thanks, and they're, like I said, they're conscious of that. And they have that frame of mind. And giving thanks simply is understanding that you must lift up to a greater being and pay homage and respect, and to do like I said, to make those best decisions you can to do that.
Yes.
You got to make actions to pay honor and respect. And if you could do it in every action that you make, every thought and every word that you speak, you right on it, But
Absolutely.
we all need constant encouragement. We all need constantly to be lifted up so we could know that we could do that, because it seems so like out of the, it's crazy. It's a crazy idea. It's a crazy thought that you could even in your emotions, in your just everyday, day-to-day emotions, be given honor and reverence. And,
That's not a crazy thought. I do it all the time.
but a lot of people don't. That's why.
Well,
That's why we have favor.
Right.
But how were you able to come to this level of thought? For there's someone who's listening right now who isn't there yet. And I don't mean it in a derogatory manner. It's just like they're hearing this conversation for the first time and it's opening their mind. How was it for you? Because I can say I wasn't always this type of person, but I totally gratitude was one of the fundamental basics that started enlightening me, that started opening my mind. And, you know, they were like, sit there and literally, you know, you could have the worst day, or today may be the worst day, and you are listening this because you are supposed to hear this. You know, sitting there and just starting to give thanks and have gratitude for anything and everything. I mean, you know, you start sitting there and you start, I'm grateful I can walk. I'm grateful I have my eyesight. I'm grateful I can hear. I'm grateful I have a job. I'm grateful I have a car. Right. Y'all know because I was out of car for a minute. I'm grateful to have a car. I'm grateful, you know, I'm grateful I can bend over and tie my shoes. There are people who have back problems. I am grateful that I don't live in constant pain. I am grateful that, you know, I don't suffer from, you know, a debilitating illness. You can start going down, you know, things where, and you're like, I have so much to be grateful for. Because I'm grateful I have a home. You can drive down certain streets in any major city in the world and see people who don't have some of these basic luxuries. And we talked about, you know, the hierarchy of needs and things like that. But, you know, those basic needs, you know, being able to breathe. I don't have to breathe with a ventilator. My child is healthy. We are not in a hospital running back and forth every day. They have people who live these lives. I'm not living that life. You know, being grateful for those things. And when you are grateful for the basic things in life, you know what? God gives you more. And I think about it this way. You know, for all of you who have children, or even if you don't have children, you got nieces and nephews. Everybody knows a child. When you give them a toy, and it's Christmas. They got a brand new toy for Christmas. And, you know, by the end of the day, you know, the toy broke. And you're like, are you serious? You broke the toy. You weren't taking care of it. I'm not ever giving you another toy. Right? Now, if they took care of the toy and, you know, it lasted to the next Christmas, you're like, oh, next year I'm going to give them a bigger toy. Well, you don't think that that's how the world works, whether it's the universe, God, or whatever you want to call him. He's God to me. But you don't think how it works in the same manner? If he can trust you with the little things in life, you're going to start seeing the big things. So when you're grateful about, you know, opening your eyes, when you're grateful and humble, add all that in there. When you're grateful for the little things, you are going to start to be blessed with the larger things and having faith and knowing that they're going to happen. I can't even tell you about my last week, and I'm not going to go into it. But Lord knows Ursula lived through it.
Can we not even talk about
I'm just saying, like, the things, but the synchronicities and the things that started popping off. Like, there were days where I didn't know how things were going to happen. But when I got there, there was somebody there to help me that I had no clue that was going to be there. And they started to appear because I had faith, and when God told me to jump, I jumped. You don't have, like Martin Luther King Jr. says, you don't have to see the whole staircase. Take the first step. And so that's what I offer to each and every one of you today, just to take that first step. And that first step that can literally change your life, in my opinion, is to be grateful. It costs you nothing. Start being grateful. Be grateful for your family. They have certain families who don't even want to talk to each other during Christmas time. Be grateful that you had a meal to eat. Everybody didn't have a meal to eat. Start being grateful for those little things, and God will bless you with the larger things. That's just me giving thanks.
Just be grateful, period.
Period.
You ain't got to be grateful for a thing. You heard me? You don't have to be grateful for anything.
You don't. Just be grateful.
Just be grateful. Do the right thing first. Do the right thing first.
But see,
literally.
there's a small print to that. You have to do the right thing without expectation of receiving something.
Right.
It is right there.
Right.
You have to do the right thing because you want to do the right thing. Like, I gave you this because I want to give it to you, not because I'm expecting you to give me something back.
Right.
So do the right thing.
Because what is it about? Intention. Your intention can change everything.
Right.
Intention is so important. And, you know, we're talking about all this other stuff.
Intention definitely affects outcome.
Is so important.
Come on, we can talk about that.
Let's talk about intention. Intention can change the game. Because just like Ursula said, you can give someone something, or you can do an act. Or I love to talk about acts of kindness. But it's your intention behind it. It's why are you doing it? What is it? We talk about on The Good Life: love, tolerance, compassion, and understanding. And, you know, that's not all of them. But for me, those are some of the fundamentals. And if you're doing it with those reasons, even having conversations, I check myself now. When I want to go tell somebody something or send them a text message, I'm like, why are you doing this? Is this your ego talking? Or are you doing this out of love?
What is your intention?
What is your intention?
What's your intention?
And I have gotten myself out of lots of trouble.
What movie that is, right? When they be like, what is your intention? They got a movie like somebody say that.
Yeah.
Somebody said that. What's your intentions?
I don't know. I can't think of the name.
It's not
They know
gonna
in the movies.
I know, but it's gonna come to me when we're not on the air. Though.
Right.
Of course, that's how.
I'm about to just type it in on the podcast.
Intentions and expectations. People gotta look into those things, you know, because like I said, all tied to those. If sometimes your expectations are based on a comparison.
Bring them all together. Bring them all together.
I tell you.
Yes.
Your intentions could sometimes be based in complaints.
Woo, wait, what'd you say?
If your intentions all based in a complaint,
If your
and you
intention
expect,
is based in a complaint.
I don't complain anymore.
I'm not saying it's a do it. I say don't, but we human. We just
Right.
have to be constantly reminded that.
I didn't say it was easy.
Right.
Right,
I didn't say it was easy at all. I make a conscious decision not to complain, period,
Right.
about anything.
Right.
Nothing.
And if you do, it's okay. Just catch yourself.
Right.
And there's so many ways to take that thought, because, you know, having a thought that, you know, maybe this isn't the best, it's, you know, I had to check myself on being sad. I was like, oh, you can't be sad. Yes. Y'all saw the movie Inside Out? Sometimes you need to do it.
Oh,
Yeah, sometimes you need to do it. And so it's taking that complaint or that concern and flipping it over.
Right.
There's so many different ways to flip something over and to change the verbiage. Like we talk about the power of your words. You know,
Right.
so you are able to still
You have to speak that
change
positivity
that
into existence.
into something positive.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, because I am by no means perfect. Do I complain sometimes? Yes. But then I'm like, oh, let me check myself. How can I transform that into something that will end up with a better outcome? Because if I complain, it's going to end up being negative. Because if I'm spewing negativity, I'm gonna
You're
attract
only
more
gonna
what?
attract more
I'm
negativity.
attracting more negativity. So it's how can I change this and how can I flip it? And I do it, you know, we're around each other, and it helps even more when you surround yourself with people
that
who
are
have the same frame of mind. And even in your work environment, I'm not telling anybody to go leave their job or anything, but I am saying, you know, look, but I will say this. I will.
don't know.
Look,
I'm kind of like, look, if
But
you're
look,
really not
but look.
happy, maybe you need to go ahead and take that
But
leap
look.
of
What's
faith.
that move?
But look, I will say this. Speaking of the Instant Millionaire, because I read the book, he was like, number one, what you do every day has to make you happy. If you're not doing what makes you happy every day, change what you're doing. Now, my point is not to just jump out and do whatever. Now, some people have done that. Me personally, I have just jumped out and just changed it because that's how I was guided. But they have other people who just don't have that. But, you know, start making a plan to change it or do something that can maintain your frame of mind as you change the game or as you change industry or as you change whatever it is. So just open your mind to do something that makes you happy every day. I know they have this this author that calls it follow your bliss. Whatever your bliss is, follow your bliss. Give thanks. And, you know, live the good life at Rue Maison Gallery, and as we go follow ourselves to the racks in this. See how we do it?
Yes.
How we do it?
That's how we do it, because I'm a body slam you if you don't know this trick.
Yeah, Rap is the manager of champions. You know that.
The manager of champions. Well, that's why he's sitting here. We are a row of champions right here.
Right, yeah.
I claimed it. I don't know about you. I claimed it for each and every one of us. We're all taking it to the next level, and that's just really what it's all about. You know, I'm really excited, you know, about today's show. We have about 10 minutes left. We are here at 316 St. Joseph Street in New Orleans, Louisiana. We're at Rue Maison Gallery. It is the only black-owned gallery in the Warehouse District. I'm really excited about, you know, all of everything that's going on. So, Ursula, why don't you tell us in this last 10 minutes exactly what's going on this week, because they have a week full of all kinds of stuff, and I'm really excited. We'll be broadcasting live, but it'll be from 10 to 6 every day?
10 to 6 every single day.
10 to 6 every day
It's
this
going
week.
out.
It literally
That's dope.
is going to be lit.
Hosted by The Good Life.
Hosted by The Good Life all week. All dope artists, dope art.
So give us an idea of some of the pop-ups that are going to be here
Yeah,
throughout
a
the
bunch of
week,
pop-ups.
There's a
and
bunch of
also
pop-ups.
the artists and things like that. You can tell
I
us
think the
what's
overall
going on
goal is
behind
to
us.
make
You
sure
can
that
see-
I could use my space as a platform for other people that may not necessarily have the means to have this space now, but they're on their path and they just need, you know, just like a little push, maybe a little bump,
a little push.
a little help. I kind of feel like that's what we should be doing for everybody. Like, I feel like a lot of us make it and then we leave everybody else behind. That's
Wow.
not what we're supposed to do.
Right.
I feel like if we kind of, you know, took a few of us with us, that we'd have some generational wealth, and we'd be all sitting at the sofa going, "We're champions."
Yes.
But instead, it's kind of like, "Oh, well, I made it, so y'all could."
Right. Y'all
That's
figure it
not
out for
what life is
yourselves.
about.
Right.
That's not what it's about. So
Spread the
I
light.
do spread the light, the lits.
The lit. Spreading the light.
So I do have a lot of pop-up shops. This is the first one, which is so dope. The energy in here is amazing. Let me see. We have VCG Posh. She's coming in. She has an amazing makeup line. She creates everything by herself. It's all natural.
Wow.
Casual makeup.
Yes.
Right.
Isn't
Natural
that
makeup.
crazy?
Right, yeah.
No preservatives. I'm like, wait, what?
Right.
Like, how does that even work? We have Andrell. She's coming in. She's, at this point, she's like international. I went to high school with her, and I'm so proud of her. Like, she is so dope. I don't even think she recognizes her dopeness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love working with people that are like,
Oh, no,
okay.
I
And I'm
know
like,
what you're
no,
talking
you are dope.
So what does she do?
She also does, well, she does skincare.
Skincare. Okay. No,
She
love
does
it.
skincare.
Need it.
But same thing, no preservatives, all handmade, all natural. She's also like really into essential oils, which is like my thing.
Right. She loves them.
Because peppermint
Y'all
oil.
got
can
peppermint oil.
replace
I knew it. I knew you were about to say peppermint
And
oil.
peppermint oil fixes everything.
Y'all hear people laughing back because we all know her
I'm
stuff.
serious.
She travels with
I
peppermint
travel
oil.
with
She
it.
travels with it. I'm shopping with a peppermint candle. That must be next.
It's coming next.
It must be next.
I'm peppermint oil for everything. It replaces Vicks, it replaces Tylenol, it replaces NyQuil, it replaces sinus medication, it replaces asthma medication, migraine medication. Girl, look, peppermint.
I can't look.
Peppermint
I have
oil.
used it. She has put me onto it, so I have peppermint oil.
I'm like, I'll put that.
Why? Look, you learn things right here on the good life. Who
It
else is
open
going to be
y'all
here?
up.
It does. It does. It opens you all up.
Yeah,
So
root for
who,
your tongue, and it's magic.
who else is
Let
going
me
to be
see,
here this
who else?
week?
Now I gotta think about
I
it.
know we have the True Love movement because they hooked
True
up.
Love Woman coming through?
Yes,
That's
the
dope.
hair
That's dope,
products.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's dope, yeah.
They are, and
She's
they
like,
are,
and they're all natural as well.
Yeah.
And I use their products and I absolutely love them.
It is.
Especially if you have curly hair, play around if you want to. You need some True Love movement. You're like, I'm not playing, like, for real. I use it. I wouldn't tell you anything that I didn't use
I did
myself.
use it, and I told her, I was like, look, little caramel curly hair Jesus, like, just bless my
Ah!
scalp. I was like, this is amazing. You're right, it does something for your curls.
It does.
But again, all handmade.
all handmade.
So we were talking
all
about
natural.
like grassroots companies, like people that have a passion about something, and they just like, they literally just like created something. So those are the folks that are coming in here.
Like me, that's what I do.
That's why you.
That's why I'm
You're
here.
in here first.
And that's
Right.
what we here.
You
First,
set the stage for
we are
it.
spreading the light today. We have none other than Isaac Netters of The Lit, which is a clothing line. They're having.
Y'all have no idea how cool this
It's
is.
no,
This
it's
is so
fine.
cool.
It's just like a little gallery. It's
Yeah,
cool,
man.
but you know,
It
it's
is
fine.
not. Do y'all see what's going on behind us? This is not just a little gallery.
This is really
You can
dope.
come shopping here if you're interested in artwork, if you're interested in prints, if you're interested in coasters,
Right.
candles, blankets. That's what y'all see. You know, she put her artwork on blankets, you know, different throws. It's really amazing. She actually does them. You can get them online. She does shower curtains. Those are really cool too. There's so many things here. Make sure you stop by all week. And you can always give thanks and get your sweatshirt, your hoodie, your long sleeve. He has a whole line here. You can also always get them over there. But Isaac has been here, and we've been discussing, you know, three of the fundamentals. That's what I can call it. Three of the fundamentals of the Lit. He is launching his new line right here at Rue Maison Gallery, and I'm really excited because these are like some of my OGs, literally. And you know, but I love having conscious conversation and talking about people who are willing to open their mind, because you know there was a time where, you know, I was closed-minded. I was like, nope, this is it. This is what I believe. This is whatever. But what if you get into like your old age and you're standing up there with Jesus and he's like, you had it all wrong.
Right.
And you're like, but you could have it all right, but
You
not
just don't
even,
open your mind.
but not opening your mind to just look at it from a different perspective. You know, just take that moment to just look at it from a different perspective. Even if you don't agree, it's
Perspective
okay.
is
But put
everything.
yourself in other people's shoes. It's
Perspective is
everything.
everything.
Intent, perspective, gratitude. I'm throwing them all out at you today.
Expectation.
Expectations. And so with that, I have the expectation, because it is going to go down, because we're going to be live at one of Big Ramp's events. So Big Ramp, tell us about your events, your wrestling, and how we can follow you and see what events that you have going on.
Oh, it's very simple. You could just follow me on social media at Big Ramp. I'm the only Big Ramp that's on there that's not the X Games. So you know what I'm saying? There's one or two things. It's either me or the X Games. That's Big Ramp. So you could find some of my music, some of my other little stuff. I got all kind of little weird things going on. Make sure you go there and check it out. And you're gonna see some of this on there too, because I did start I pressed the start button on there. Yeah,
He did spread. He
that's
started spreading the light
because
today.
this wouldn't have happened if you
If
didn't
he had
press
not
the
pressed the
start
button, if he didn't press the start button, it would not have happened today. So I'm really excited. We are here live at
Eileen, can I ask-
316 Movies On. Yes,
Can I ask you something?
please.
So all y'all have the lits, right? All y'all have like a piece, at least one piece.
Right.
And y'all warm around. What do people say?
When I wore my family was like, where'd you get that? What is it? What is it about? And so I told him because it's crazy because Ursula knows one of my things is thanks God. And so it's just like you put it in a
Now
different
I say it
form
all
for
the
me.
time, too.
And so it just, I think it's very inspiring. And actually, I wore it. I had to, go do a big feat the other day. And so for me, I wore it because it just reminded me to give thanks for, taking those big jumps in life and, taking those steps. So I've had a lot of positive response and people asking me what it is. And then my son has his hoodie too, and he's like, "It's so comfortable, I want to sleep in it." So he has his, and now I'm like, he's starting a new trend, and so I already know when he wears it out, all the kids are gonna be like, "Where'd you get it from?"
Right.
And so it's just, but that's what we're supposed to do. But that's what we do when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're setting trends, and your trend is light. It's about love. It's about consciousness. It's about opening your mind, and for me, that's everything that I'm about. So I love wearing what I'm about.
Anything weird happened for you?
Well, I had a couple people ask me what I was thankful for.
Really?
That's what they say. So what are you thankful
What are you
for?
thankful
What are you
for?
thankful for?
that's-
And it's I always say life.
Mm-hmm.
It's very simple. Like, it's
Yeah.
just not, because I can go down the list of all the different things that I'm thankful for, but I'm just thankful to be alive. Like, realistically, like, I could not be. You know what I mean? So,
True.
and once you say that, I think for a lot of people, it puts things into perspective. It's kind of like, oh, wow, you're right. Because I could say, oh, I'm thankful for a car, and I'm thankful for a house, and I'm thankful because I have a gallery. Well, no, you're thankful for life because the person that you're standing next to, they're alive too. You have something in common. And it's like, oh, wow, you're right. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's cool.
Me too.
What about you, Big Ram?
So I wore the Give Thanks shirt, aka the list. I wore it to a wrestling event, right? And there's people, they sell shirts the whole time. They got shirts all around the whole place. But everybody, there was only two shirts that people was asking about. They asked about the Give Thanks shirts, the list, and they asked about the Shut Your Face shirts. Now that's just my shirts and his shirts, and that's it. That is nothing. That is it.
Shut your face. Yeah,
That is it.
that's a wrestling thing. That's his wrestling thing. He telling the little kids, shut your face.
Yeah, but see, that is the other side of the lit thing. You know what I'm saying? Because we build it up, but if you start talking crazy, you gotta shut your face. And I had it on for Christmas. I had my red one on for Christmas yesterday. I was very festive and had the red one on for Christmas. So everybody was like, "Oh, that's a nice shirt. That's nice." So I told them, the list.us. Oh, come here. Come right here.
Come right here.
At 316.
And they have them in all of the, they have them in all of the Mardi Gras colors.
In the
and
warehouse
all-
district.
Let me smell a candle again.
Smell the candle.
If
my
you know
God.
where Highland Wolf is,
It's
we're
around
right
from
next door.
Highland,
Right next door.
around
Right
from
here.
the Republic. Yeah,
Across
right
from
here.
Spring Hill Suite, like, we're in the
Across
thick
from the
of it.
hotel,
We're
they
like
got
right
rooms
here.
across the street. They got parking next door.
Parking.
It's going down.
AKA, if you know me, it's in my little area. This is my little area right here. You know?
Well, I'm going to wrap up the show, and I want to thank Ursula for letting us, host this week, and I'm really excited about it. We're here at 316 St. Joseph Street. As I said again, we'll be here all week hosting her grand opening week. So make sure you come stop out between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. We will be here. We'll be throwing down. I'm really excited about the week, and I'm really excited about her taking the jump. Everyone sitting here has taken the jump, and that's what the good life is all about. So open your mind to living differently in the world. Thanks so much for tuning in, and make sure you get the app. We are on Google Play right now. We will be on iPhone whenever they upload us, and when they do, I will make sure that I put the information out there. So follow us on all of our social media platforms. That is at TGL Radio Show, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Thanks so much for tuning in, y'all, and we're out.